Here's the video.
Why people are giving her bad faith advice.
I'm gonna play this
they're
video.
bad faith people.
I don't think the audience will be served at all by hearing this, but I'll play it for you anyway.
I think like the biggest thing that like annoys me in like the whole dating world is like fucking talking stages. Like that shit's so annoying. Like the whole like, and just like the inconsistency in them. Like I literally like hate that like so much. But I think that's like my biggest thing. It's just like
what specifically?
Just like the fact of just like you like, I don't know how to word this. Like in like talking
she knows
stages,
she doesn't know
it's
how to
just,
word
like,
it.
like,
I can't do it. I can't listen anymore.
I shut it up the first time I tried to, but I've since listened
They
to it.
say she's speaking hot girl language.
So she's saying that in the early days when you're texting back and forth for like, and then it turns into a week of texting and then 2 weeks.
So then she goes on to say like no one wants to commit or be in a traditional like dating.
Right.
It's these weird talking stages, and their talking stages mean like the hookup phase, and
Right.
you're seeing someone.
But she's also talking about 21-year-old dudes who go to college in California. Like
Here's what James Lindsay said. She's crying for help because of the damage online dating and hookup culture have wrought, speaking vaguely and badly about her tacit knowledge of a miserable... You want to pull that up? Let me start over. She's crying for help because of the damage online dating and hookup culture have wrought, speaking vaguely and badly about her tacit knowledge of a miserable circumstance without the vocabulary to articulate it. This is sad.
Yes.
What I got, you can see, I retweeted it too. James Lindsay's a smart fella. What I got from it is she's basically like, she wants a real relationship with somebody.
Yes.
And that doesn't exist. And it's feminism's fault.
Yep.
Because basically the sexual liberation thing told men, there's nothing you have to do anymore. There's no responsibility. There's no resources. There's no hard work. Ladies, just going to give it up. So what you end up with, a bunch of little boys who sit around playing video games all day and don't have to provide anything. Women who don't want families. So the guy doesn't have to provide anything, and there's no strings attached in hooking up. And now you have women, and I'm not saying every woman, I'm not saying most women, at least in this case, one woman who is like, this sucks.
Yeah.
But it's not just, I feel like this is a majority of the Gen Z girls and the whatever they're calling that other generation. They really fell prey to this hookup culture. And I think a lot of them, and you see it here in her, even though she's not saying it well, they're understanding that it's not making them happy. And that's why I feel if we had someone that wasn't, Andrew Tate's great, right? The way he articulates this to young men. Hopefully he's innocent, but
He's not innocent. He's not been charged with any crimes.
Yeah. He doesn't speak to young
you want to
women.
preface it, but he does say these good things. But we need
Andrew Tate has not been charged with any crimes.
Yes.
So it's like he's not even. There's nothing to be innocent of.
Yes.
They just locked him up.
Justice.
It's just that's my little disclaimer. But I like what he has to say. But I think there needs to be a version of that is palatable for women. That's saying the same thing, but palatable for women because they feel the same way. But the way that it's put for them is just off.
I don't know.
Pearl
The only
Davis-
way to beat it is to not participate in it. Like the only way to get rid of hookup culture is to just stop hooking up with people. And I'm sorry, but most of the girls on this podcast, whatever, are hooking up with people. They're making the problem worse, and they're not willing to take accountability. I think that's why a lot of people are like angry when they see this clip because they're like, I mean, I don't know this about this girl individually, but like the archetype, she's contributing to her own problem. And also, Andrew Tate is a participant in hookup culture. So it doesn't really resonate when I hear him talking about the negative effects.
He's not like, people say he's kind of like, what do they call him? Kickbox, Muay Thai, Jordan Peterson. I'm like, yeah, but isn't Jordan Peterson more traditionalist and like clean your room,
Yeah,
have a
he's married
family?
with kids.
Andrew Tate is like, get all the ladies.
Yeah.
I guess technically,
Peterson walks the
technically,
walk.
Andrew Tate is more traditional than Jordan Peterson because Tate brings it back to a carnal, more primitive state.
Peterson says don't lie, and Andrew Tate says I lied for money. I had women pretending to be talking to guys while I had dudes doing the typing. We made tons of money. We ran the game. Like he's just a liar and proud about it. So they are not on the same level in any way. I agree with you that being alone is less worse than being with the wrong person. So like these people doing hookup culture, maybe they'd be better off if they were alone. But those being alone and being in the wrong relationship are like D- or worse.
The alternative isn't even being alone. It's just like dating in a normal way that doesn't immediately, like for these women, give strange men access to your body.
You know what I think it is?
Preferable
a lot of
for
it?
both sides.
I think it's a cultural deficit in that we created all of this media, iconography, TV shows about love at first sight. and about, a guy meeting a girl and they just love each other, or Hallmark movies where, the woman's in a relationship with the guy, but he's snooty, and she goes back to her hometown, and there's the old, football player, and
the
lumberjack, and he's a stand-up, honorable guy. And in reality, relationships are built together. You meet each other, you get along, you say, okay, you start building things together, and you build up that emotional bond over a long period of time.
It's also like
young people seem to think that it's like you meet someone and it's like they're the one.
No,
I've met them.
If you are in your best place and you meet someone in their best place, then you will realize together you're something. But they're not going to make you better. You gotta be up there so that they can come up to meet you. I made that mistake for a long time, thinking she was going to fix me. And so what's advice you guys would give to young guys? Because I think a lot of guys are afraid of rejection sucks. And getting rejected in public, if that gets blasted out on the internet, not only you might even look like a predator. Guys are probably afraid of that. So what advice?
Girls also need to learn to reject guys in a way that's gracious and not ruthless. That's a problem.
What would be that's cool. What would be a good advice for young guys that want to pursue a relationship with a girl in this modern technology era?
That's a very loaded question. I mean, I think it depends what they want. If you're a young man looking for a more traditional relationship,
go to church.
Yeah. I mean, that's really...
A lot of people say that, but it's like, okay.
Supermarket.
You're going to go up to someone in church and be like, hi.
That wouldn't be very trad.
Makes some people feel weird.
They say the supermarket. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're fine. But I just feel like they have to live, you have to walk the walk, and you can't be calling for traditional lifestyles if you yourself are involved in hookup culture and things like that. If that's what you want, really, Tim's not wrong. You're going to find that in church.
Or a supermarket. That's the other thing. No, for real, they say, guys will go to a bar to pick up chicks, and it's just like, I guess that makes sense for a guy, but for a woman, it doesn't make sense, because you're going to get a guy who's not looking for any kind of real relationship. That's what this young woman is basically saying. She comes to a point in the video where she says, this is not going to lead to a real relationship. And then there's another video going viral of a Japanese woman who was surprised when she met this guy's family. And she was like, so this guy, I've been seeing him. We went on 5 dates. He introduces me to his family. And I'm thinking wow, this is a really big deal. We're hitting it off. And then when she inquires, he's like, no, we're just friends. And she was like, what? That doesn't exist where she's from. When a guy and a girl hang out several times, they're dating. When they introduce their families to each other, it's very serious. In America, look, that's what I was saying about feminism. Right?
I don't know if Japan has their shit together either.
Well, sure.
Dating.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They have the hikikomori, where the guy, hikikomori, the guys lock themselves in their rooms and play video games all day and never come out. Even when their friends are outside, they're just in their room playing video games and no one ever sees them. And then, but that's Japan. I forgot what I was going to say. I was going to say something about feminism. I know that the woke leftists are going to be like, Tim Pool blames feminism, incel, blah blah blah, and it's like, look, man, I don't care about women running for president. I know we end up actually, let me pause. What's your stance on the 19th Amendment, Ashley? Repeal?
I think there have been a plethora of problems that have come.
All right, there you go. We have women on the show, and they're like, repeal the 19th. And it's always the guys who are like, well, I don't know. I'm like, if the ladies vote for it. But anyway, I don't care about that stuff. Feminism wants to see women as CEOs. I don't care. Run a company. Do whatever you want. I can choose to go to business, do business with whoever I want. You can run a company if you start a company. But in terms of the sexual liberation stuff, it's not really liberation. It stripped women of their leverage in relationships. Right. Women were told you can go around and sleep with whoever you want, and the guys were like, yes.
I love that you're pointing that out about leverage, because when they call men incels, they're saying you can't get access to sex with women. But sex with women has become valueless now.
Yeah.
So where'd the leverage go? Is that even an insult anymore?
Well, so the thing about incels is most of these guys, it's an internal problem. It's never been easier for these guys to hook up. You go to a bar, buy some drinks, everybody gets, has a good time, they're drunk, they go party, and then before you know it.
But that's tough. That's risky in modern culture, because you can get blasted out on the internet as putting your hands on someone's thigh or something.
I'm not saying to go touch women without consent.
Yeah, but they might think it's consensual, and then they take it a step too far. I think that's a big problem.
There is a reason why bars have the lights turned low, and there's a reason why there's that you can buy it at Hot Topic or Spencer's or whatever. It says beer making ugly people attractive since 900 AD.
I've always thought one of the cringiest things is the guy's like, "Can I kiss you now?" And you're like, "Oh God, just go for it."
That's sweet. I think that's
you do think
sweet.
so? Should the guy ask before he makes a move?
I don't think it should be mandated, but I think it's sweet.
Whoa. Absolutely, they have to. See, women.
Because everyone's
Tim's like, you're
mentally
gonna get
ill.
young
But
men in
if
trouble
we
if they
lived
don't
in a
ask
sane
consent before every
society,
time.
Dude,
no.
that lady cop.
Yeah.
Did you guys? Okay, so we were talking.
Yes.
I should pull this up
Yes,
because I'm gonna.
This is actually perfect.
I don't even know how do I look this story back. I had it pulled up and I'm like,
Give me your history,
Gang-banging
that's
cop.
for sure.
She was emotionally groomed, guys.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.